So next thing we need to cover is lift versus ROAS. Incremental lift versus return on ad spend. And this is where I see the biggest rift in the digital marketing world. And this is where I think the biggest gap lies between what the best marketers with the most elaborate campaigns that are doing all this stuff. And believe me, I see folks are like, well, broad doesn't work on my $300,000 a day account. Or people saying, well, I don't know a $100 million brand that's doing that. First off, right here, $100 million brands that are doing that, been doing it for years. Second, if you're running $1,000, $5,000, $20,000 a day, why are you concerned about solving the same problem that the $100 million brand is? Because I guarantee you, Facebook is fitting a different need in their business model than it is for you. So you're trying to solve a problem with the tool that somebody else is using, but their ecosystem looks different. Their problem is different. Their value of their investment has a dramatically different impact on their business model. Now, what we need to get down to here is the raw numbers. Incremental lift versus ROAS. Now, one of the big reasons people say broad isn't working is because the ROAS is worse. I don't care. Now, we have a huge conversation about PSM, profitable scaling margin, that's lifetime value divided by the sum of CPA plus COGS, where we understand that ROAS, and to a greater extent, MER, has no value because it's not cash flow. It's basically, did you get lucky today? Because those numbers are built way more on AOV than they are on future cash flow. One of those things makes you pat yourself on the back and say you did a good job because you got lucky. The other one grows a business with projectable revenue streams that you can borrow against to project inventory and improve customer journey value. That all being said, when you are targeting a 2 million person audience on an interest group or lookalike, and your CPM is $35, and your frequency is maybe a 1.3, 1.4 on a daily basis, the value and volume of users that you are reaching at a higher cost is far less than if you're going broad and your CPMs are like 20 bucks, 25 bucks. And why are your CPMs different? Well, several reasons. One, interest groups and lookalikes and retargeting audiences come at a premium. They cost extra. Facebook literally used to show you how much more this audience cost. But more importantly, you're forcing ads onto people because you think that ad is the right ad for them to see, based on information that doesn't necessarily have a great match rate towards target customer and content. Like, it's an interest group of dogs and we're selling dog food. Well, 1/3 of those people might not have a dog, might not care, might not even be in that audience properly because Facebook has themselves has said interest groups are maybe 66% accurate at best. Also, plenty of people talk smack about dogs because they're cat people, or they don't like dogs because they got attacked. There's a million reasons people don't like dogs, but they talk about them. And you're advertising to them. You're spending good money to show your ads to folks that don't want to see you. And so you're creating a liability to Facebook's business model. So as a penalty for you basically being an extraordinarily disrespectful business partner, Facebook's going to charge you more money to reach people. Also, that audience of 2 million, probably more like maybe 500, 600, maybe 700,000 of folks that are actually good. The smaller the audience, the greater the CPM, because you're customizing. And what we really have to understand here is it good for you to today spend as much money as you can against an audience that is going to get you a good ROAS on Facebook that's really small and focused? What is that going to do? Ultimately, hopefully that means we get good revenue today. All right, that's what ROAS is. That's what MER is. Did we do good today? Or over this week, whatever time window we're looking at, it's a snapshot. Do we get a gold star, yes or no? Maybe the answer is yes, maybe it's no. My question is, what does that mean for tomorrow? And every person that focuses in on this that also says, well, Facebook's really unstable and you can't project for the future, it's because you're focusing on ROAS. If you're prioritizing today's performance, there's no way you can plan for 3 months from now or even next week. And Facebook feels really unstable and highly volatile, and your costs continue to go up because you're focusing, showing all of your ads to an audience that's really high cost, where probably the majority of the people in that audience don't actually want to see your ad at all anyway. And so you're creating an environment where you're giving Facebook lower quality tools to create user experiences for their customers, for their users. So you're a liability to their business model, and as a result, you pay more money. Again, is your CPM $20 or is it $35? Is your CPM $15 or $100? If your CPMs are over $30, I can almost guarantee you, the problem is, one, creative testing. You're probably not doing DCTs at broad to scale with the ads that Facebook users want to see based on estimated action rate and business lift. But more importantly, you're trying to take ads that work and spend as much money against the audience you think is going to work to get a ROAS. Here's the problem. When you're spending $35 CPMs against a small audience where the frequency might be like a 1.5 on a daily basis, or people say first time impression ratio, I need to reach more people, all of this other stuff, that's predicating the idea of how much liability can I present to Facebook to make sure that a very focused number of users enter my funnel and that I control their experience after the first touch. That only works if you have nothing else going on. But as soon as you begin to introduce email and search, maybe Amazon listings, it becomes far more valuable for you to reach twice as many people, right? Maybe the CPM instead of 35 is a 25, and your frequency is a 1.1 instead of a 1.5 or a 2. You're reaching twice as many people on a daily basis. If you're reaching twice as many people, your conversion rate can be 50% worse, and you'll make the same amount of money. Also, you're far more likely to reach new people. So the folks that you are reaching are not the same ones you're advertising to on search and the ones you're sending emails to. So you're more likely to get new customers where that sale isn't attributed to multiple channels. More importantly, the more you spend on broad, the higher your search volume is going to be because you're reaching more people. Your email open rate is going to go up. Or more importantly, the volume of emails are going to go up because you're probably going to get more emails and because people are seeing you more often. And because you're not jamming your advertising down their throat to where when they go onto social media, either they are buying from you or you are a burden to them. And if you're a burden to them on Facebook, why the hell are they going to open your email? The point is, it works in isolation if you value that isolated, myopic view of success, ROAS. But if instead you're focused on how do I make the business bigger? Because we're looking at channels that are not just Facebook as sources of revenue. And to be fair, email is way more efficient than Facebook is on making a sale. Search, way more efficient. Hell, even paid ads on Amazon, way more efficient. But you can't scale those just by them existing. You have to look at how does Facebook fit into my overall business model? And every time you're investing in lookalike groups and interest groups and retargeting, you're tremendously limiting the scope of people that are coming in. And then folks say, well, I'm looking at first time impression ratio. And if it's really bad, what am I going to do? Well, first off, you need to stop looking at bad data points. First time impression ratio isn't an actionable metric. It's a sign that your ads may or may not be shown to the same people over again, but do I care about first time impression ratio nearly as much as volume? No. I'll take a first time impression ratio that is 1/3 as bad as somebody else if I'm getting twice as many customers, twice as much traffic. I'll take a lower click-through rate all day long. I'll gladly take 20 clicks out of 10,000 instead of 7 clicks out of 100. That's hyperbolic, but you see the point. It's a fraction. It's not a performance metric. And I'll tell you, as I scale businesses, these numbers matter. Incremental lift is what gets the job done. If you have any questions here, please go ahead and comment below. I know that I talked about that in a very big level, but I want to make sure that you understand incremental lift is what grows a business, not ROAS, because ROAS isn't cash flow. ROAS isn't what you use to grow the business. Future cash flow and projectable results is how you plan for the future instead of reacting to the past. That's what's going to change your confidence level to make a business grow. If you want more information, please ask me questions. If you like this type of stuff, click down below. You'll see links to the newsletter, the